All right, everybody, let's get straight to the business. No introduction, no hook, no nothing. I want to genuinely give you guys value, and I want to give you three structure bones that you must have and understand the value of each of them if you started your trading journey. If you're new to trading or you've been trading less than 1 year now, you must understand what I'm about to share to you. So first thing first, let's go down here. I have the three structure in here. I'm going to start with one by one. I'm going to give you the logic, the reasoning, why you have to make sure that you fully master each one of them properly, and in what stage each of them can actually give you what you are actually looking for from the market. So obviously, again, if you're new in trading and you go into trading, the first thing that everyone will focus are definitely going to be around technicals. And when I say technical, what exactly do I mean is definitely understanding what is the pips, how the market moves, okay, how to take a trade, how to take a stop loss, an entry, and whatsoever. Now, unfortunately, and that is the sad part, is that when you get into trading and you start with technical, which is the first step to do, you get too much into it. By you getting too much into it, you don't know and you don't understand the importance of the next two things I'm going to talk to you about. And I get it. I get it where you guys are coming from, and that's why where we're going to discuss about these two pillars in here. But what is very important is that if you start with technical, you need to make sure that once you start absorbing different concepts, is definitely knowing how and when you engage in the market to use properly the risk management. Now, bear with me. I don't want you guys to jump on YouTube and looking for risk management and saying, oh, how to manage my risk, how to this and that. I think the pretty best way for you is that to watch multiple videos and to see what other people are talking about it and how they're handling with it. But the one most important thing that you need to know and you need to be aware about is that if and when it comes about risk management, it's just not mathematically or technically something that you do or you use. What do I mean is that each and every single one of us, when it comes to trading and we put money on table for us to take a trade, like for example, if I show you some of the trades that I got here on our chart, right? Like for example, a buy. So when I get into this buy for a 1 to 5 risk to reward trade, I'm risking 1% per trade. So for me, putting that 1% amount in there, right, is something that I emotionally, mentally, psychologically have to be willing to do that. If you watch multiple videos on risk management and people are telling you, oh, risk 1%, risk 0.5%, this and that, don't just stick to that or don't just listen to it, because for someone, risking 1% is a lot of money, okay, or it's too much to deal with. Some other people that might risk 0.5%, some other they can risk 0.25% or even 0.10%. What I want you to understand is that once you are done with your technical, which usually is the easiest bit, right? Now, I know the YouTube platform or any other social media is loaded with multiple type of strategies, okay? Now, this is something that I make a video another day about, but what you need to understand is that when it comes to the technical, you just gotta know where the market is going, where you could look for your trade, how to take the trade, where to get out of it, and where to place your stop loss. Pretty much these few things, okay? You master it, you watch video whatsoever, and then you get confident with it. Once you get that, you go into this step, as we discussed, risk management, and you need to figure out what is your own risk tolerance, right? You need to understand what exactly makes you feel comfortable to start with. By the way, going to risk management, some people, they start straight away with their personal account, right? Some other people, they want to get into from trading. So what do you mean by from trading? Like getting big amount of capital that get given to you to trade and to make profit split, to make share whatsoever. But this is not something you need to worry about now. And then the other people, they start with that demo trading. Now, in my humble opinion, if I have to be honest with you, start with this, because especially if you're new or you've been into 6-7 months, right? If you get into trading and you try to master all the technicals, like that alone itself is extremely overwhelming. Why? Because you've been watching so many videos and everybody telling you different stuff, and it's going to create so much confusion in your mind. On the top of that, if you put your personal amount of money, right? So you risk $50, you risk $100, you risk $1,000, and you are not ready to emotionally see your account every time going down minus, I don't know, 1% or minus $100 or whatsoever. Emotionally, and mentally you will be drained and destroyed by the combo of these two things. One, overwhelming understanding of the technical, and two is not being able to understand how to manage your finances because you're scared, right? You're losing your mind. Now, why I'm telling you all this is because now we're going to the most important part, and which is the most dangerous part of trading that almost nobody realizes, or most of the people that don't realize it, especially when you're a newbie and you get started into trading, is this. Let me show you. Mindset and psychology. Bear with me. What do you mean by mindset psychology? Let me give a real life example so you guys can understand. You probably, if you've been less than 1 year, might have heard people telling you, oh, trading is all about mindset, it's all about psychology. You have, I don't know, this side, the technical side maybe is the 20%, right? While the other side, which is here, is, let's say, 80%. So trading is all about 80% psychology, mindset, and technicals. Fine, that's true. But what exactly does this mean? Especially if you're new and you just started this, what is this meaning to you? You might be feeling like, oh, okay, it's fine, I can do that. I mean, what is gonna be such a big deal? I don't think so. Well, I used to think like this, and that's how I started burning out my account. I started losing money, and I started doing a lot of silly mistakes. But if you are someone that your whole life, right, you spend doing exactly what thousand, million, and billion of people out there are doing. And what I mean is that you've been, going to the school system, you've been going to college, uni, family, having that type of corporate ambition or getting a job, getting good degree whatsoever. You have been always following a specific straight line. Okay, is a path. This path goes from a point A, let's say, right, to point B. Along the way, this path, this journey, okay, you have your family, you have your school, you have your college, you have your coach, you have whatever, you have your job, you have your whatever, right? Now, every time that you come across this situation, these steps, so family, friends, school, society, government, whatever, there are specific instruction that is handed to you. Okay, so say that you finish your college. So say that you finish your college, you're here, right? This is the point A, and now you getting your job. Okay, that's fine, that's calm. You get a job, you're landing a job, and once you land the job, you get trained for it, right? So you learn how to do your job. So therefore, what happens is that once you do your training and everything, you move to the next step, which is basically you getting your job, starting doing things properly. You maybe need a probation period, or maybe doing the right thing the right way because you had your training. Then the next thing you know, you get probably promotion. So now you're in a better position and you start the cycle again, you get training, and so on and so on. So basically, you are advancing in your life with this type of growth curve. Okay, perfect. At least that's what usually most of the people aim for, or they try to do. But in trading, it works completely different. So in trading, you still have your A to B, right? And this is something that you guys need to, I promise to you. If you are still watching, I promise to you, listen to me, because I wish I had somebody teaching me and showing me what I'm teaching to you now. Here you got again your A to B, but there's a big problem. The problem is that this A to B is not flat or straight like this line above. What it actually does, it moves like this. Okay, and for most people, it actually moves like this. Okay, and maybe it goes down, and maybe if they manage it well, it goes all the way up like this when you start becoming consistent and profitable and you can start making money. Now, the real question is, what does it mean? What exactly I'm trying to teach you? What exactly I'm trying to explain it to you? Why this mindset and psychology matter a lot? Because for you, that you are actually coming for this type of mindset and mentality where you literally spend your most of the life, if not your whole life, on following specific rules, regulation, patterns, schematics, way of thinking, having a guide on your hand that tells you do X and you get Y, do Y and you get Z, right? So it's everything given to you in a certain degree. But in trading, me, myself, or any other guru, any other people, whatever, and I call a coach, mentor, can give you X, Y, and Z, and you can still fail. Reason being is because if I move down, further down, right? Reason being is because When you start in here, right now, you're in a euphoria moment. You are happy. You are like, wow, what is this trading about? People are making so much money. What I'm getting into it. Boom. Let me jump on YouTube. Let me absorb everything. Let me watch the video. Let me learn how to trade. So you are on your peak moment where you're literally able to fully grasp a lot of, I don't know, support resistance, order block, or any concept, Fibonacci indicator whatsoever. Then you jump on the chart, you start testing out, and you see a crazy drop because things are not working. What the hell? What went wrong? So your confidence levels start dropping. You start getting frustrated. You start getting worried, and maybe you're missing something. So then what you do? You start again your rush. So you go to social media, you look for the next educator, you look for someone teaching you what to do, how to do. So you learn something else as well. And then so on. Again, you fail and you fail. And then for some people, now I did this, but for most of the people, trading becomes this. That's it, done. Why? Because they get themselves into this cycle thinking that whatever training, whatever they're learning, whatever they're trying to get out of the market, right, is actually not working. So the education that they're getting out of there is not valuable enough to make them money. And when they get into this loop, at one point, their mindset, their mentality, I mean, there's a reason why I drew the group like graph like this, right? And at one point they give up and they say, oh, trading is a scam. It doesn't work. But, the big but, what I want you to understand, and this is the biggest takeaway, is that trading is a game of probability and statistics. So you can, right, you can get your A to B point, like, so let me show you this. You can get your A to B point. You have a lot of ups and downs like this, but once you start understanding that, okay, I'm dealing with something where I never dealt before in my life, right? You will start to do something like this. So you're gonna still have ups and downs. That's gonna happen to you. It's gonna happen to everyone, but it's going to be most of the time like this. And then of course you do this, and over time you're still gonna have ups and downs, and then you start going like that. So what do you mean? Is that nothing like, okay, when you go to school, when you go to college, when you go to work, wherever you go, there is no such thing as probability. Have you done your studies? You get good grades. Have you done your job well at work? You get good paid. You get salary, right? So here, on the other hand, you can watch as many YouTube videos as you want, as many courses you want, as many whatever you want. At the end of the day, none of the technical, so going back to our initial part, right? None of these technical studies that you're putting in will ever give you 100% win rate. Neither is going to give it to you 80, 70 or something. Stay 40, 50, 60, 30. I mean, that's the average that people actually gets. Okay. Now, why this is important? Because if you're still watching and you understood everything they said so far, once you start accepting and facing this reality that, okay, here it doesn't work like the real life where I study, I master, I train, and I achieve it, means that I can embrace this reality and I can test and try to understand and focus how I can actually make money once I fully master all of this, and then I combine these two together. Okay, so this is the play here. This is the biggest play in here. You need to master your technical, so being able to have confidence on what you do, how you read the chart, how you navigate through the chart, right? And the story that you are able to get out of the market, and then later on you jump in these two, and you know that these two are the one they're gonna actually help you to survive in the market and make you money. Okay, so let me show you something. Look at this. If I go in this chart, right, you guys can see, by the way, these trades, this has been all taken. I have a very small private group where I don't do mentorship in there. I do daily forecast, and where I literally make forecast for the very next day, and I teach them. I actually show them what is my expectation, what is happening, and what can happen tomorrow. So it's literally given live. It's not hindsight trading or whatsoever. Okay, so if I get in here and then I see, okay, price is going up. Now, in order for me to give this type of forecast, by the way, if you guys see all these arrows, because those are the drawing I make the night before. So in order for me to confidently tell people like, okay, this is my POI. From here, I'm looking to go buy, right? Again, here's POI, I'm looking to go buy. That requires certain level of confidence that is being built by me understanding every single element of technicals, right? So now when I give away like my forecast for the guys and I say, look, that is, what is happening and what I'm expecting to happen, the very next thing they do is definitely going to these two. So the first thing is risk management. So understanding how much I'm willing to risk and what exactly I can do. So for example, this is fresh. This was from today. Okay. So this trade, right? Hold on. We had initial target potential all the way down here. Based on my learning, based on my technicals, based on my confidence, based on everything, target all the way down here. That's like a 1 to 15 risk to reward trade, right? But obviously, once I mapped out everything and I started putting my position, my POI and everything, I then said to everyone, guys, careful on your risk management. So some of you guys can get into 0.25, 0.5, but me personally, I'm happy with 1%. But when I get to 1%, right, I need to know what are the odds, what are the probability for me to see actually this playing out at 1 to 15. Okay, I had all the confluences based on my technical understanding, confidence as well. But what are the probabilities? Where exactly should I break even? Where exactly should I take partial, right? And what if I hit a stop loss? How do I react to it? So what exactly is going to happen? Now, for me, when I know what is I'm doing here, then I know my mindset and psychology, which is pretty much what price can potentially do in the event where I fail and I take a stop loss. I did not take a stop loss in this one, but what if, let's say I would have taken a stop loss? What will I do next? Will I be frustrated? Will I be emotionally unstable, right? Or will I be able to adapt myself quickly to the situation and then take the right position again? Okay, so this is the way you need to scale it, and this is the way you need to step by step master your trading. There is way more to it. There is so much more to it. I can't speak like for 3 hours now. I do like live session for free on TikTok, so if you guys want, you can hop in there and I teach a lot of stuff, like literally a lot of stuff. But for now, again, if you're new, don't put all your effort on your technicals, because you can be the master of the master, you can be working for Wall Street, you can be doing anything, but if these two are not in line and you are not fully taking control and ownership of these two cases in here, guys, you will fail immediately. You will fail. I mean, I'm telling you, you're gonna fail, and I'm telling you from 5 years of experience. I have multiple people that have witnessed the way I trade, the way I explain, and the way I call out every single time at whatever setup I take. Whether it's a stop loss, whether it's a TP, I mean, look at this. I always call them out live. Okay. This being said, guys, I really hope I gave you a bit of insight for you to carry on moving forward. If I did and you loved it, just subscribe, leave a comment or like or anything, just your point of view about it. Okay. And I'll try to bring you guys more and more about it. I'm generally gonna try to help you with this. Okay. So yeah, let me know what type of video you guys want to see next. Just comment here and then we'll pick it up from there. This being said, I'll see you to the next one.